Yanji Chimbo to Dining Me Yang, on the Molam Chimbo, Abjata, Pakertan, Sandu Shermado, Tomba Tuji, Janla, Kip Shang Sar. Good morning. We discussed the five aggregates and emptiness yesterday, right? So emptiness is everything, right? Everything is emptiness, everything. And very important when, for instance, when we practice the fifth preliminary Guru Yoga and practice Padmasambhava dissolves into our mind, and his mind and our mind sort of become one and union. We say that when we practice Guru Yoga. Guru Yoga, Padmasambhava also says it is possible for you to enter my heart. But you know, you need to think about the union of the emptiness and the compassion, the appearances. If we are not emptiness, then you know we cannot practice Guru Yoga like this, you know, because not emptiness, then it's kind of permanent, right? Because it not emptiness means it is permanent. So Padmasambhava's the wisdom mind or the omniscient mind is same as our Buddha nature. And if we recognize that, then secret Guru Yoga, actually, that's practice and recognize our own nature, mind. So that means that practice Guru Yoga, the union, his mind and our mind merge into, and then union, which means we talk about that nature, the basic nature. So the basic nature is same, right? So Buddha nature is same. So which means the relative, the consciousness, the mind is emptiness. That's why the relative mind, the nature is emptiness, and is a wisdom. And so that's why actually there is no union, actually. There is no union, Padmasambhava's mind and our mind. But when we say the union means you have to recognize that nature mind. So that is Padmasambhava. That is your Guru, the inner or secret Guru. There are outer Guru, inner Guru, secret Guru, three Gurus, right? So outer Guru is like, you know, when somebody teach you and explain and how to meditate, and that's kind of, you see the kind of, you know, Nirmanakaya, we call that. Physically, you know, you can see, hear everything like that. But the most important Guru is your inner mind, inner Guru, which means the Buddha nature, which means you have to recognize that and practice on that. That's the, we call it best way to practice Guru Yoga. So that's why very important to understand emptiness. Uh, and otherwise, if we don't understand emptiness and we think something is not emptiness, permanent, then our meditation doesn't matter. You practice meditate. Our meditation can't help us because can't change our mind if we are not emptiness. We are not impermanent. Doesn't matter. You meditate on, hundreds of thousands of hours. Nothing change. Just always same. But it will change because emptiness, because impermanence. Impermanence is so important to understand. So the form and emptiness are related because emptiness cannot exist without form. And form and emptiness cannot exist without the other, they are the entities. So, emptiness is actually the final sort of nature of form, everything. If emptiness did not exist, then there would be no single reality in all the phenomena. So that's why, again, emptiness is very important. And today we are the Heart Sutra. We need to talk about the dharmas are emptiness. That one, right? We're there. So, O Shariputta, all dharmas are emptiness in just this way. So, dharma, actually, this here means the dharma means the things. It is not teaching. Actually, dharma has 10 meanings according to Tibetan. Dharma has 10 meanings. So here it means phenomena or everything, the things. So actually we should say, or Shariputta, all phenomena are emptiness. Actually that's better translation. But we have here dharma, but that's also okay. According to Tibetan, dharma also means all, everything, all phenomena. But if you understand here, say dharma is emptiness. If you think teachings or the meditation, or that's not here, that means. So dharma here means all phenomena, like you, the human being is a dharma. The house is a dharma. The tree is dharma. Everything that can exist is a dharma here. So when we say all dharmas are emptiness, we are saying everything has emptiness as its own nature. Understand? And that's why everything can exist interdependently. Very important to understand this. Interdependent. This is, I told you many times, Buddhist unique. Interdependent. This teaching is unique. Very important, because if you understand everything is interdependently exists or arises, then you understand emptiness. So that's why here says dharma, all dharmas are emptiness, which means everything is can exist interdependent relatively, but ultimately everything is emptiness. And in just this way, means that everything is emptiness in the same way as we explained yesterday about the 5 aggregates, right? So here Shariputta, all dharmas are emptiness. That's just this way means like 5 aggregates. Like form is emptiness and emptiness like form, right? So everything, all phenomena, everything is emptiness just that way. Yeah.
Khenpo, is it right to say then if everything's interdependent, then really there's no reason
Yes. Everything. There is a Nagarjuna has a quote, very nice. There is nothing single things without emptiness exist. And everything is exist interdependently. Why? Because everything is emptiness. Why? Because everything is impermanence. That's the reason. Uh, and then the next line, the Heart Sutra describes 7 characteristics of emptiness. There are no characteristics, no birth, no cessation. What is it? This is no cessation, no perception, no formation, and no consciousness. Uh, no wisdom, no attainment, no path. Okay. uh, so this one of this, is that phenomena have no defining characteristics. Here we say, no characteristics, right? No characteristics. This means that all phenomena have no inherently defining characteristics. For instance, relatively, a Buddhist point of view, everything has a characteristics, like universal characteristic, are like interdependently arise, or impermanence and emptiness. Actually, those two, right? Impermanence and emptiness. All phenomena have these two characteristics: emptiness and, impermanence. But when we say these characteristics exist on the relative level, but they do not exist in absolute level, there is no characteristics. Ultimately, phenomena have no characteristics. They say they are beyond science, right, and beyond form, and without cause and conditions. So that's why no characteristics. But you might think and ask, if all these phenomena are empty and without characteristics, then how do they appear? And how do they sort of stop existing? So if you think that this question is based on relative truth, and the answer is that everything phenomena arises, appears, is that they exist due to our ignorance, or they exist interdependently, which means it is due to cause and conditions of our ignorance. Everything appears, everything exists, and relatively. Most important thing is we need to understand all these things do not exist in ultimately, and all are just concepts in our mind, and everything that appears is relative. That's why we have two truths. And now there are no characteristics, right? And Heart Sutra talking about understand of 6 things here, okay? O Shariputta, since this is the case, in emptiness there is no form, no sensation. From here up to no attainment and no non-attainment, there are 6 kind of things they talk about. First is understanding of form. Second is understanding of element. Third is understanding of source. Fourth is understanding of interdependent. Fifth is understanding of truth. Sixth is understanding right and wrong. So it starts the first, O Shariputta, since this is the case, in emptiness there is no form, no sensation, no perception, no formation, and no consciousness. So emptiness, there is no form, means in emptiness there is no inherently existent form, right? We understand that. Emptiness is not form, because form has, here, now it's a little bit different, okay? Emptiness is not form, because form has the characteristic, right? Form has the characteristic, different parts, right? We have. And whereas emptiness is without characteristics. Therefore, emptiness is not form. Understand now? Emptiness, O Shariputta, says this is the case. In emptiness, there is no form, no sensation. So now we talk in both relative level and ultimate level. Relatively, form has a characteristics. Ultimately, emptiness, no characteristic, without cause and conditions. So therefore, emptiness is not form. And it's also not feeling in the same way, because feeling has the characteristic of a sort of experience, right? Experience, the definition of feeling. Therefore, it is not the other aggregates, because 5 aggregates have the characteristics. So when we read this statement, we must understand that we are not denying the conventional existence of the 5 aggregates, but just their inherent existence. So we can see, of course, that the aggregates exist dependently, arising, as they do from sort of certain cause and conditions. Remember that Avalokiteshvara is explaining how to train the mind in the perfect of wisdom. The 5 aggregates, to see, to understand the 5 aggregates, the nature of 5 aggregates are empty, right? So when you meditate on the 5 aggregates and investigate, very important, and if you realize the emptiness and you meditate on that again, over again, and the true science of practice is that you are naturally and effortlessly without fixation, without grasping, and also increase your devotion, compassion, wisdom, and your confidence in the Dharma, so that you feel that only the Dharma is the point, Dharma is the matters, that only practice is important. You will feel that when you understand the value of emptiness, then you feel that way, because you also more and more experience compassion, experience the wisdom. You understand more. You can sort of develop your wisdom if you practice emptiness. People think emptiness is just nothing, but meditate on that, just nothing. It's not the true, right? That's not true. When you meditate on emptiness, it's increase your compassion, increase your wisdom. And that's why these Dzogchen masters, their wisdom is kind of it's limitless. Then they write the teachings and without thinking, just to because their wisdom more you meditate on emptiness, more your wisdom increase, your compassion increase. Because you understand the value of emptiness, then you will see the other living beings. Oh, you think they don't, this amazing, this meditation is amazing. We have this Buddha nature, but they don't understand. They are very sort of suffering by ignorance. So your compassion is really automatically sort of, increase. You have to investigate that. Very important. Otherwise, sometimes people meditate on emptiness, know these signs. Instead, your anger, your grasping, your attachment increase. That means really wrong. Your meditation is going, your view is also wrong. Very, very important. Once you sort of fully realize the Rigpa, the state of the nature mind, by training again and again, then everything is very sort of, you see, you hear, everything is kind of smooth, very simple. It's easy to get. Everything is, there's nothing wrong, That's a good sign. I mean, when you hear, when you see, everything is for you. Everything is very good smoothly. Everything is very pleasant. I think that's the correct word. When you see, when you hear, there's no, I think, negative. Everything is pleasant. Everything is smooth. Everything is makes sense. Everything is get easy. That's the very good sign. Sometimes people, meditate in wrong, understand view, not good, then everything is incorrect. Very important to understand. And when you first begin to meditate on emptiness, you also perceive the relative, the conventional phenomena that are the base upon which emptiness is established. Eventually, your perceptions become like, there's no different, like, water pull into water. There's no different, two waters, right? I mean, there is no different from one and the another, because we no longer experience any duality existing between our perceptions. Everything like you perceive in your perception is like, it's like a water pull into water. There's no different. Right now, our feeling is sometimes pleasant, sometimes unpleasant, because our perception, how we perceive the things wrongly, then our feeling is also not so pleasant, right? So when you meditate on like emptiness like that, your perception will change. Yeah.
Can I just ask this? If you were enlightened, if you're in an enlightened state, do you not experience anger and fear? You don't experience that, or do you just view it differently, or not pay attention?
The enlightened being point of view, no experience anger, no attachment. But through the wisdom mind, see and understand and experience your others' attachment, others' anger, others' ignorance. That's why enlightened being like Buddha has a two wisdom mind. One is how he saw, how he understood the things, right? Things like, the union of emptiness in appearance. That's his point of view. But when he see others, he will understand everything, your feeling, your suffering, your happiness, your sadness, everything. That's why he has a capacity to, help, because what you need and what your problem, everything he understands through his wisdom mind. We call it omniscient mind. Omniscient means everything. He understands everything. Understand everything in the past, in the present, in the future, what happened. Everything they understand through the wisdom mind. That's why when you more meditate on emptiness, more you develop your wisdom. That's why like 2,500-600 years ago, Buddha said all these teachings. And, actually he already said that 21st time, this happened, that happened, people like this and that, everything he understood. In the future, what happened. So that's why two wisdom minds. Now we have what we have: no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind. This we call six sense organs, right? So no eyes. Emptiness is not eyes. Because the eye has a characteristic of sight. And also no eyes, no ears. Ears, what characteristic of hearing, right? Hearing, and so on. Everything has the characteristics. So here, no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, means everything is emptiness. Eye, ear, all these six senses no exist. Big, yeah.
When you say the word characteristic, do you mean that, could you also say nature? That the nature of the eye is to see, that the nature of the ear is to hear?
Well, you can see that. You can say that two ways. The relative nature, your eyes to see, ears to hear. But that's not ultimate nature. Mm-hmm. But in Buddhism, we always say characteristics.
So you use characteristics for the relative and nature more for the ultimate.
Yes. When we say nature, it's more ultimate level. Okay. Relative level, we always say characteristic or defined characteristics, Yes. And then we have no forms, no sounds, no smells, no taste, no touch, no fun. These are same. It's not difficult to understand. The first, you have to understand the five aggregates, how they exist and arise and relatively, and how the nature of these five aggregates are empty. You have to understand that very deeply. Once you understand that, then these are very easy. Shariputta, the Avalokiteshvara said, exactly same, just is this, right? Just same. So no form, no sounds, no smell, no touch, no taste, no phenomena. That's six sense objects, we call it six sense objects. So form is the object of eyes, right? Sound is the object of ear, and so on. That's what we call six sense objects: form, sound, smell, taste. So emptiness, these all, has a characteristic of, like form has a characteristic, colors, shapes, all these things. But emptiness has no characteristics. As same as sound and smell, taste, everything is characteristics. And then finally, no I element to no mind element, up to no mind consciousness element. So the contact between this first we call 12 brains about the six consciousness. So form is an object of eye consciousness, right? Sound is an object of ear consciousness. And up to, thought is an object of mental consciousness. So this part of the sutra is saying that not one of these things can exist by itself. There refers to 6 objects and 6, faculties combined. And the total sources give rise to 6 perceptions of seeing, hearing, and so on. So when we say source is an English translation of Tibetan word jem chit. Very important. Jem chit means that which gives rise to. Jem chit, like door through which things are perceived as well. So the 5 physical senses are included in the form aggregate, and the mental sense is included in the consciousness aggregate. So for example, the 6 senses depend on the 5 aggregates. Therefore, if the 5 aggregates do not exist, then the 6 senses do not exist, because they are not other than the 5 aggregates, right? If the 6 internal senses do not exist, then the best of the 6 consciousness do not exist. Therefore, this we call the 18 elements do not exist. So once you again understand the 5 aggregates both way, relative and ultimate way, understand, then these are very easy. And the next part speak of the total interdependent origins, which begin with the ignorance and end with old age and death, right? In Heart Sutra. No ignorance and no end of ignorance up to no old age and death, and no end of old age and death. Heart Sutra. So the meaning in the sutra is that none of these total links can exist by itself. So each link is the cause of the following link, and each following link is the effect of the previous link, the total links. Very important, this one. For example, first 2 links are ignorance and actions, right? So actions are the karmic actions of body, speech, and mind, motivated by ignorance. So therefore, all of them are empty. For example, ignorance arises from the view of self, right? Ignorance. So we now understand self doesn't exist, because the form doesn't exist. So therefore, the ignorance, there is no ignorance. The conception of self arises from that which does not exist. Therefore, ignorance also does not exist. So now here, Heart Sutra, and when we study, this is a big subject, total links. Sometimes Gelugpa school, only the total links, they study total links 6 years. But, here the sutra mentions that the first and last representing the process by which the cycle of rebirth functions, right? And process by which the cycle of the rebirth is destroyed. So these 12 links describes how to continue to be reborn into samsara. Actually, relatively, how we continually reborn, continually again and again wander in samsara. These 12 links talks about that and describe that. And as you know, everything has cause and condition, relatively. So that's why we say that everything is dependent on its origins or causes. So there are two kinds of dependent origination. One is about which things, with the things outside, with things. There also total depends origins outside. And another kind is about the living beings, like us. So we actually don't have time to teach each of the 12 links of depends origination today, but we can look at this in different way. We can break this down into 3 lives. Okay, for instance, ignorance and action. In Tibetan we call it marik ndupshit. Marik is ignorance, ndupshit is action. So the first 2 links are the cause of our past life. Ignorance and action. And then we have next the 5 links: consciousness, name and all that, name and form, all the consciousness up to feeling are the effect of cause of our past life and result in our experience in our current life. Okay? And then next 3 links: grasping, grabbing, and becoming. These 3 links are the cause in our current life that will create the effect of the last 2 links of birth and old age and death, our future life. So total links, like you can divide into 3 lives. Okay, our past life, current life, and future life. That goes like that. Total links goes like this. Understand? Next, in the same way, there is no suffering, no source of suffering, no cessation of suffering, and no path. These are the 4 Noble Truths, right? Today we have these things, a big subject. It's kind of difficult to understand, but you should not worry. We need actually these things, we need to teach separately, like 4 Noble Truths, 12 links, origination, and then these 18 elements, or the 6 consciousness, or these are big subject. It's difficult to understand, but you should not worry. This time you have to understand what you understand. What is the essence of emptiness? What is the relationship between these 2 truths? Your body, our body, and the nature of the body. And that's very important. You have to investigate the body, the self, the I, the mind, exist or not. We need to try to diminish the grasping. The grasping arises by ignorance. So the ignorance and grasping, these 2 are the root of suffering. Reborn samsara. That's the main cause. So if you understand emptiness and meditate on that, you can diminish the grasping. and ignorance, then there is a chance to, you know, understand or the go beyond of the samsara. Yeah?
I'm wondering when this is sort of confusing, but when it says no wisdom, no attainment, no non-attainment, no source of suffering. So can we look at the Four Noble Truths as being on relative level and then look at this as being on ultimate level?
Yeah, the Four Noble Truths, you know, the Buddha taught that he taught first when he got enlightenment, he taught Four Noble Truths, right? He got enlightenment in Bodhikaya, and then he walked slowly and walked to Varanath, Saranath, and then he saw there are 5 people. Those are his first students. Those 5 people, he knows that they are ready to listen to the Four Noble Truths. That's why he taught Four Noble Truths, right? Because people think that most problems come from, you know, others. They don't understand self and ignorance. So Buddha knows that, oh, okay, the problems comes from not others, comes from self grasping and ignorance. So that's why he taught about the Four Noble Truths. How our the suffering, what is the cause of the suffering, how we diminish the suffering, all that things, right? The Four Noble Truths. But here sutra, no suffering, no source of suffering, the Four Noble Truth about emptiness, ultimate level. He talks about Four Noble Truths. Therefore, there are no Four Noble Truths. This means the emptiness is not the Four Noble Truth. I mean, you know, because emptiness, the truth of suffering has the characteristic of, you know, defilements, the afflictions, right? But emptiness is without afflictions, characteristics. So that's why Four Noble Truth, if you go deeply, each of these truth doesn't exist in ultimate level, emptiness point of view. Understand? So both very important. Four Noble Truths, very important to understand because we know how to, diminish our suffering and unhappiness if you understand understand the Four Noble Truths. But that's the relative level. So here Heart Sutra talk about emptiness. So that's the ultimate level. So a little bit different. And the next, no wisdom. The best understanding of wisdom comes from Buddha, who realized that the self and phenomena are selfless, and they understand emptiness. So wisdom or prajna, right, is understanding completely everything. But here in Sutra, Heart Sutra says that the emptiness is not wisdom. There is no wisdom. Because wisdom has the characteristic of directly sort of perceiving all phenomena correctly and understanding correctly. Therefore, in emptiness there is no wisdom.
And to the experience of emptiness comes before the experience of the Dharmakaya?
Emptiness what?
You experience emptiness first in order to be able to experience the Dharmakaya?
No, they are the same. So you understand correctly emptiness and experience correctly. That is the Dharmakaya. There is no first, no second. It is Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya is everything, right? Nirmanakaya came from Dharmakaya. Nirmakaya is the Buddha. Buddha Shakyamuni we call the Nirmanakaya, which means we see, we hear physically, verbally, But Dharmakaya is the nature of everything. And that also we call great wisdom. You can call great wisdom. That wisdom, and here we are talking wisdom, they're a little bit different. So here no wisdom means we understand correctly everything like intelligently. That's what we call wisdom. But that doesn't exist emptiness point of view.
So discerning something or understanding something correctly implies that there's a subject that discerns and an object to be discerned or to be perceived. So in essence, in the Dharmakaya, there's no division between subject and object, so there's nothing to perceive.
Right.
Yeah.
That's correct. And then what we have, next we have no attainment and no non-attainment. Attainment is the complete enlightenment, right? It means that this attainment here does not exist because in this state the Buddha bodhisattvas see only emptiness and not sort of conventional phenomena. So emptiness is beyond definition. All right, wisdom, no attainment, no non-attainment. Okay, stop there now. And we should practice a little bit. Do we have any question?
Does emptiness include Bob?
God, I hope so.
Bob? Bob is a name. All right. Okay. What do we need to meditate today? I think we should meditate something like it's about like like emptiness, right? Something like emptiness. Maybe looking at your mind and rest in meditation. I think that's good. Alternate between looking at your mind and then resting, meditation. Because to look at your mind and also, of course, the breath, look at your mind by focusing on the breath. In this meditation, you bring your mind into focus by looking at your breathing. That's not the point. And at the same time, you should look in also at your mind and its nature. Uh, let your mind rest without thoughts. And at the same time, observe this nature state for as long as you can and comfortably do this. Um, First, do you understand when I say looking at your mind and resting meditation? Resting. Looking at your mind and resting, that's all. Any questions about that? Yeah? Uh-huh. You don't know what I mean? Okay, you know when I say looking at your mind? You don't know that?
No.
You don't know how to look at your mind? Yeah. Look at your mind now. Look at your mind. Can you see your mind? Through your eyes? Look at your mind. I can see my mind through my eye. My wisdom eye, not this eye. Right? Looking at your mind, it doesn't mean using these eyes. Looking at your mind means experience your mind. If you find something really relaxed and kind of also awareness with light or clarity, then I call it rest in meditation. Understand? Okay. When you close your eyes, I think it's difficult to see the nature mind. So don't close your eyes this time. Okay? I know it's difficult for you. You always meditate, close your eyes. That's uh, um, uh, good for when you practice shamatha meditation. But emptiness, when you meditate emptiness or mind, nature mind, you cannot close your eyes. You can't close your eyes. Okay? So you should keep your, open your eyes and look at just in front of you, maybe like tip of your nose, something like that. And experience the inner, the mind, in the nature mind. The first time you have to kind of, you have to kind of, there is a, subject and object. The first time, kind of like you need to look at your mind, means like you have to see, what's going on. As soon as you do this, you will find the nature. There is nothing, the nature. If there is no thoughts, then you will see the nature. It's not difficult at all. Once you just look in your mind directly, that's all, without thoughts. That's I'm talking here. Any questions? Understand that? Yeah? Okay, if you understand that, that's good. So then, if you have difficulty with your thoughts, then sometimes very nice, very helpful. Focus on your breath very gently. But no thoughts, then you don't have to think about your breath. Just to relax, that's all. Just to relax and meditate on that space as much as you can. Okay, do that maybe 15 minutes. All right. Deep breath.